you again for coming. If you're a great interest in education, obviously you wouldn't be here. I appreciate that. I agree with my opponent, Larry, in the sense that we have a crisis in education. I think crises demand revolutions and major changes. I also agree with Derek when he said we need to learn to compete in the 21st century. One of the biggest problems in education today is the lack of competition. We're not going to compete in the world if in the schools we don't find ways to raise the bar through many more choices and competition and merit and standards, which will allow us to become in this state the best educated state in the union and the best in the world. Like America can become that, we can become that. If we allow it, what happens in the business community. Competition, choices, it'll raise the bar for everybody.
Larry Sequist, Democrat from Gig Harbor.
You know, there is no record in American political history of a candidate ever being against education. So we're all in favor of education. We want more and better. There is a difference, however, in candidates who are able to really contribute something to education, and I am hopeful that I would be able to do that. In my Navy career, I have spent a lot of time running education systems, small ones and large ones, and at one time I was actually in charge of reorganizing the largest centrally managed education system in America, the Navy Training and Education System. We completely overhauled it, redirected it, saved money, rebuilt classrooms, learned about teacher training. And so I really am interested in getting into the mechanics and the budget of how we do what we would all like to get done. That's where I really need to spend some time. Thank you.
State Representative, for State Representative in the 27th District, Position 1, Stan Barker, Republican from Tacoma.
Thank you very much. I haven't said much lately. I've been listening to all these guys huff and puff up here and tell us how everything ought to be done. Well, they've been in the legislature for how many years, and we still got all these problems. So I suggest that maybe we need to take a look at some different solutions than what we've had. Now, I'm from the 27th District. You're all sitting in it right now. You're in the middle of downtown Tacoma. I hope you all wore your flak jackets when you came so that the gunshots that get fired out as you're leaving don't hit you or harm you. I live here. I live in the east side of town here, and you know, crime is one of our biggest issues. And if we got so much crime going on, how do we educate the kids when they're scared to come? You know, we got 80,000 gang members in Los Angeles. We have 300 gang groups here in Tacoma, and we had 35 shootings on the east side since January. And what do? You know, how are we going to educate our kids if we don't get a hold of the crime problem? Too bad, because you got to come up here to get me to stop right now. Yeah.
Representative Dennis Flanagan, Democrat from Tacoma.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. Becky said something I agree with, and that you get a chance to hear ideas that are not your own. Something good worth doing. It's a battle of ideas and not ideologues. A debate, not AK-47s. And I think that that is what makes democracy worth happening and having. I think we should run, jump, skip, and laugh some more than we do. We should hug our kids, love your family, and stand up for independence of thought, purpose, and imagination. In a sense, if we lift ourselves up to be more valuable already, then maybe the model will travel around the world. Thank you.
For State Representative in the 28th District, Position 1, Troy Kelly, Democrat from Lakewood.
Had a good summer with my family, thanks. My 2 kids, we got to do a lot of things. Got to go to the Children's Museum, got out in the sound a few times, but they talked about going to school in September. That was something that was very exciting to them. They couldn't wait. And now that they're both in school, my youngest is only 3, he's in preschool, and they're very excited. So that's something that I hope they don't lose. That's something I hope their friends don't lose. I hope all the children in the state don't lose that enthusiasm for the school. It's something I'm worried about, though, so we need to really make sure that we hire quality teachers. We need to make sure that we reduce dropout rates, that we fund education properly. If not, there's going to be a change. Let's really work on this issue.
His opponent, Don Anderson, could not be here tonight, Republican, and he sent in a statement. I will continue to champion students in our local public schools as I have for the past 35 years. May I have your attention, please?
The meeting room will close in 15 minutes. The kitchen will close in 25 minutes. The library will close in 30 minutes. If you need to get a Tacoma Public Library card, please come to the checkout desk at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Dawn looks forward to working with you in the future for the betterment of the system. Okay, for State Representative in the 28th District, position 2, Representative Tammy Green, Democrat from Gig Harbor.
Actually, I live in unincorporated Pierce County between Steilacoom and Lakewood.
I didn't correct my page.
That's okay. My first role in a public service kind of mode was 26 years ago when my daughter was in kindergarten at Mount Spur Elementary in Ellendorf Air Force Base, Alaska. I was the PTA secretary at the ripe age of about 27. And I learned a lot from being a PTA secretary. And if you like the things that I've done and the things that I've said, you could say I'm a PTA success story. If you don't, you can say I'm a PTA failure. So you pick. But you know, it's imperative to me that we get education right. My granddaughter started kindergarten this year, and I want to make sure we get it right. You know, in my district, we have over 50 public schools, 5 private schools, Pierce College, TCC, and lots of kids that go to Bates and Clover Park. During my term, I visited 40 of the public schools, 2 of the private schools, and all the colleges, because I really felt it was important that I have hands-on and I know what was going on in those schools. And it really helped me in the last legislative session. I'm proud of what we've done in the last 2 years. It's been an honor to serve, and I hope I get to do it again.
And running against her, not able to come this evening, Bob Lawrence, Republican. He's teaching a class tonight involving student presentations, which may run late. He says, as an educator married to a 5th grade public school teacher, we agree with you that there are many tasks we all need to do to make our public schools second to none. Besides my wife, our oldest child and 2 nieces are also Washington public school teachers. Our commitment by my immediate family demonstrates daily our desire to improve our public education system. And now, State Senator for the 29th District, Senator Rosa Franklin from Tacoma.
Thank you. As a very strong supporter of education, I've always said and have been taught repeatedly, education is a way for lifting yourself out of poverty. We must continue to educate and do a good job of it. Children who are really the seed corn. One of my colleagues always said, the children are the seed corn. If you have no seed corn, and your seed corn is not ready, you're not going to have any higher education or anything else. So children must be ready to learn. The Department of Early Learning is on time, hardly supported. That so will help our children come to school ready to learn. Education and health, you cannot dismiss the two. We need to work together for education and for health. Get these children early coming to school, ready to learn. If you have a great seed corn, you'll have a great college education.
State Representative in the 29th District, Position 1, Representative Steve Conway, Tacoma.
Thank you. And I want to echo here what's already been said. I want to thank the PTA for hosting this candidates forum. And because I think, you know, we need to be held accountable, and you're the ones that hold us accountable. And I really think that, you know, I liked your questionnaire, incidentally, and I hope that, you know, you do publish those results and let the voters know where the candidates stand on key education issues they're facing the state. Education, I think, as numbers have been said here, is the foundation of our democracy. We have a strong democracy because we have education. One issue I leave with you is this, is that remember 2 years ago, the state had a huge budget deficit. Now we have a large budget surplus. In that issue lies our problem with funding education.
And finally, the State Representative in the 29th District, Position 2, the Emperor Steve Kirby.
Well, first of all, you look good in clothes.
I did not know that having MJ read my statement was an option here tonight. I would have spared you all. Actually, you know, I think you can kind of tell the people here who have opponents and those who don't. These folks who are out there campaigning every day, they've been pretty sharpened up now, pretty much all summer long, where I don't have to get sharpened up till the second week of January. I can tell you this, I have read that really long questionnaire again just today, as a matter of fact, and okay, I'll fill the thing out, and if you want to publish it on your website, you can. I do appreciate the opportunity to come here, though, and speak with you and hear from you. You know, my lobbyists are really not bad, particularly the ones from the PTA. The last one that came to my office was Kim Golding, and I ended up being the treasurer of her campaign for the school board, so that works.
Well, there's not enough time to do the math stuff, so I urge you to look at the website, www.whereisthemath.com. Got it? Whereisthemath.com. You'll find everything you need to know about what's up with the math issue that will be facing you in January. And now I present Chris Anderson, who is responsible for this fantastic evening. Chris.
I'm not totally responsible. I've got a team here with me, and I want to recognize those people right now, if I could. Videotaping is Anita Benninger. She's the legislative officer for Tacoma Council PTA, and secured a brand new sound system for us here in the library to break in. So thanks a lot, Anita.
Good job.
Pretty cool.
Good job.
And my region director, who oversees what I can do in my job as legislation chair for the region, is Carrie Wilkinson. So she's the big kahuna in this part.
We had her try to horn him.
And that's why she gets the horn. And next to her is Marianne Howell, who you should know wrote our proposed recess policy to the Tacoma School District, and is responsible for really shaking things up, I think, at the school district here. And next to her is our outstanding, next to that is our outstanding advocate for last year from Tacoma Council, Diane Larson, who has been following up on a mandate that you guys, some of you guys, approved, which was, what was it? SB, what, 4623, something like that? Yeah, which was the nutrition and physical activity bill, and she has been rough and tough and has worked a lot with many people at the school district on that. So she is your extension, I think, of the law. She's a lot in motion, so we can't overlook these people that do so much. Patty DeRusha is carrying on the tradition of some of us that have kind of stepped away from Tacoma Council, and she is treasurer there, and so we're looking forward to great things from her. And also, tonight she has secured a nice thank you gift to our wonderful, wonderful moderator, MJ McDermott, who lives way up north in Seattle and made the trip down here on her day off. And we're just so appreciative that you came down. I hope that you'll enjoy. And most of all, thanks to everybody in the audience that cared enough to come out tonight, and our wonderful, I'd say, selection here we have for legislative candidates. Oh, okay. That's a good point. Thank you. There was the mention made of our questionnaire that was actually put out before the primary on the website. If you look up the Washington State PTA website, it is www.wastatepta, that's WASTATEPTA.org. If you look on a tab that says regions, you can find Region 10, and voila, you'll find the links for those candidate answers. And wastatepta.org. If you do WSPTA, you'll get the State Patrol instead. Yeah. And Carrie's got cards too, which I think probably has that website on there. Yeah. And the last thing, of course, I want to remind you all is that we have the general election coming up on November 7th. Please make sure to vote. Thank you. Thank you.
Tonight, the candidates are not only intelligent, they're also all very good looking.